Here we are again. You're counting every calorie. You're hitting the gym daily. And the scale still refuses to budge. Here's what almost nobody tells you. It's not just about what you eat. It's about whether your cells are actually ready to process it. I'm a registered nurse, and today we're talking about the piece of the weight loss conversation the industry keeps skipping, your circadian clock. Because if you're ignoring it, you may be fighting your own biology instead of working with it. Stay with me. This might reframe everything you thought you knew about eating right. For decades, weight loss advice has centered on one number: calories in versus calories out. Eat less, move more, lose weight. Simple math. Except your body isn't a spreadsheet. It's a living system that runs on rhythm. And that rhythm is set by something called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a tiny cluster of cells in your brain that acts as your body's master clock. This master clock doesn't just control when you feel sleepy or awake. It helps orchestrate when your body is primed to release fat for energy, when it's primed to store it, and when your cells are most responsive to insulin. So when two people eat the exact same meal, same calories, same macros, but at different times of day, their bodies can respond in meaningfully different ways. One meal might be processed efficiently. The same meal, eaten late at night when the internal clock has shifted toward a storage-oriented state, may be handled very differently. This is the disconnect. You can do everything right on paper. Track your food, hit your macros, show up for your workouts, and still plateau because the timing piece was never part of the equation. That frustration you felt, wondering why the scale won't move despite your effort? It's not a willpower problem. It's a timing problem. This is the study of how your metabolism changes across the 24-hour day, and it comes down to the relationship between two key players, cortisol and melatonin. Cortisol naturally peaks in the morning. It's part of what helps you wake up, mobilize energy, and get moving. In a well-regulated system, cortisol should rise early and taper steadily through the day. Melatonin, on the other hand, rises in the evening, signaling your body that it's time to wind down, repair, and shift into rest and restore mode. Here's where it gets interesting for fat loss specifically. Insulin sensitivity. How efficiently your cells respond to insulin and shuttle nutrients where they need to go tends to be higher earlier in the day and can decline as evening progresses. That means a meal eaten in the morning or early afternoon may be processed differently than the same meal eaten late at night when your internal clock has already begun shifting toward rest. Layer on top of this, eating late in the evening can blunt melatonin release, since digestion and blood sugar activity signal to your body that it's still daytime work mode, which can interfere with the deep, restorative sleep that your hormones depend on to reset overnight. This is the chronometabolic loop. Mistimed eating disrupts your clock. A disrupted clock impairs hormone regulation, and impaired hormone regulation makes fat loss harder, regardless of how clean your diet looks on paper. So, how do you know if this is actually affecting you? A few patterns tend to show up. Your energy feels backwards, flat in the morning, wired late at night, especially for carbohydrates and sugar. That feels stronger than daytime hunger ever does, even after what should be a full night of sleep. Sometimes not hungry until midday, then unable to stop eating once you start in the evening. If several of these sound familiar, it's worth looking at when you eat your meals, not just what's on the plate. This isn't about another restriction. It's about recognizing that our bodies have a schedule, whether we're paying attention to it or not. So what does aligning with your circadian clock actually look like in practice? Step 1. Aim to eat larger, more substantial meals earlier in the day, when insulin sensitivity tends to be at its best, and taper toward lighter, simpler meals as the evening goes on. Step 2. Try to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. This gives digestion time to settle before your body needs to shift into repair mode and supports the natural rise of melatonin overnight. Step 3. Natural light exposure within the first hour of waking helps reinforce your circadian signal, supporting the cortisol rhythm your metabolism depends on. Step 4. Dim lights, reduce screens, and give your body a clear signal in the evening that the day is closing. This is a core part of what I call the alignment method. And this is a core part of what I call the regulate pillar and pairs directly with the nourish pillar. Because when nutrient timing supports your clock instead of fighting it, your body gets a consistent, clear signal about when to burn and when to rest. None of this requires eating less. It requires eating in rhythm. Here's the reframe I want you to leave with. Fat loss was never only about the food on your plate. It's about the environment your hormones are working in. And timing is a bigger part of that environment than the industry usually admits. You don't need another restrictive plan. You need a rhythm that works with your biology instead of against it. Front-load your meals, protect your evening routine, get morning light, and give your body consistent cues about when it's time to work and when it's time to rest. That's how stubborn fat storage starts shifting toward active energy release, not through more effort, but through better timing. If this resonated, this exact kind of synchronization, nutrition, movement, and nervous system regulation work? If this is resonating, I've built a full breakdown of this. This exact kind of synchronization, the nutrition, movement, and nervous system regulation working together, inside the free download linked below. Go grab it, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, consistency beats intensity every time.